There's a story our parents' generation often tells. They graduated, found a stable job, and by their mid-20s, they were able to buy their first home. It was part of the dream, an obvious milestone of adulthood. But what about our story? We may hold 2 degrees, work 2 jobs, and optimize every dollar we spend. Yet the finish line called home ownership, seems to move farther away every time we get closer. You work harder, you work smarter, but the outcome doesn't match the effort. And you start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? The answer is, maybe you didn't do anything wrong at all. The problem isn't your effort. The problem is that you're playing an entirely different game than the generation before you. And in this video, I'm going to give you a concept, a mental framework that won't just help you understand the rules of that game, but also help you find freedom within it. That concept is called the financialization of housing. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why the dream of owning a home feels so out of reach. More importantly, you'll learn how to free yourself from the psychological burden of believing that it's your fault. First, let's define this core concept. The financialization of housing is the process by which housing changes its primary purpose. From being a place of shelter, a foundation for family stability, it has been transformed into a financial instrument. An asset, much like stocks, gold, or bonds, is bought and sold with the primary goal of maximizing profit. In the past, the value of a home was tied to its utility. Was it close to good schools? Was the neighborhood safe? Did it have enough space for your family? Its price was typically only 2 to 3 times the annual income of an average household. Today, its value is determined by entirely different factors: its future appreciation potential, its rental yield, and whether it serves as an effective hedge against inflation. As a result, in many major cities, home prices now reach 8, 10, or even 20 times the average annual income. When something essential for survival is treated like a stock on Wall Street, the people who actually need it to live will almost always lose. So how does this system work? What mechanisms turned a basic human need into a speculative playground? This is the guide to seeing through that machine. There are 3 main forces quietly driving it beneath the surface. Engine 1. Artificial scarcity. Many people believe housing prices rise because we're running out of land to build on. That's not entirely true. The real issue isn't a lack of land, it's land use regulations, commonly known as zoning laws. In many cities across the United States and Europe, these laws were written decades ago. They prioritize large, single-family homes and actively restrict the construction of high-density apartment buildings, affordable housing, or small starter homes. As cities grow and populations increase, the rules stay frozen in time. This systematically chokes off supply. Large real estate developers understand this game very well. They can land bank prime parcels for years without building anything, simply waiting for scarcity itself to push land values even higher. Think of it this way. The housing market is like a movie theater. Instead of adding more seats when more people show up, they simply raise ticket prices on the limited number of seats available. You're not paying for the quality of the seat, you're paying because there are no other seats left. Engine 2. New players with bottomless pockets. In the past, your competition in the housing market was another couple trying to buy their first home. Today, your competitor is far more likely to be a private equity firm, an asset management company, or even an algorithm. Over the past decade, massive amounts of capital have poured into the residential housing market. At certain points, investors accounted for more than 25% of all home purchases in the United States. They don't need mortgages. They pay in full with cash, above the asking price, and you simply can't compete. Their goal isn't to build a home. Their goal is to turn that house into a revenue stream. They split it up for long-term rentals or convert it into a short-term hotel through platforms like Airbnb. This may be great for tourists, but it's disastrous for the people trying to live and work in that city. The home you dream of raising your family in is now being used as a rotating hotel room. You didn't lose the race to homeownership because you were lazy. You lost because you were bidding against an Excel spreadsheet, one designed to maximize returns for shareholders thousands of miles away. Engine 3. the psychological blame game. And this is the most subtle part of the system. After creating a playing field that is nearly impossible to win, the system turns around and tells you that it's your fault. You hear toxic advice everywhere. Stop buying lattes, get a side hustle, just work harder. These messages imply that the problem lies in your personal discipline, not in the economic structure itself. But look at the reality. Home prices are rising far faster than you can possibly save, no matter how many cups of coffee you cut out. Even well-intentioned government policies, such as first-time homebuyer subsidies, can sometimes backfire. They inject more money into the market, increase demand, and ultimately push prices even higher, benefiting those who already own assets. This creates a bitter social paradox. We want our home values to rise, yet we also want our children to be able to afford homes. You can't pull the ladder up after climbing it and then blame the people below for not being able to climb. So what's the benefit of truly understanding the concept of the financialization of housing? What do you gain once you realize the game has been rigged? The first and most important benefit is freedom. Freedom from guilt. Freedom from the belief that you're a failure because you haven't reached a milestone society imposed on you. You're not failing. You're simply playing a game whose rules have been completely rewritten. The second benefit is strategic clarity. Once you understand that buying a home is no longer the only or even the best path to building wealth, new options open up. You can start thinking rationally. Is renting really throwing money away? Or does it give you the flexibility to move to a city with better opportunities, the freedom to invest that down payment into the stock market, into your own business, or into meaningful life experiences? Renting is not a failure. In today's environment, it can absolutely be a deliberate and intelligent financial strategy. And the third benefit is the ability to redefine success on your own terms. Maybe the ultimate goal isn't owning a piece of land and four walls. Maybe the goal is financial freedom, control over your time, and the ability to live life on your own terms. The real problem isn't that you don't own a home. The real problem is being trapped in a system you don't control. Understanding that system is the first step toward taking that control back. Let me know in the comments, is rent in your city rising at a completely insane pace? The dream of owning a home was once a promise of stability, a place to settle down, to build a family. But that dream has been transformed. It has been financialized into a game whose rules no longer favor ordinary players. The most important thing to take away from this video isn't a feel-good solution for buying a house. It's a liberating truth. You're living in a system that has changed, and the struggle you feel is not a sign of personal failure, but a completely rational response to an irrational reality. If this video helped you see the bigger picture more clearly, please hit the like button to support the channel. And if you want to keep exploring how economic and financial systems quietly shape our lives, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Thank you for watching.